Hey guys, it's Booga here with a video demonstrating a possible new starter Crusader build that you guys can kind of use and try to help get to the Greater Rift level 75, which will help unlock Torment level 16. Crusader is just really popular for season 19 because one of the endgame builds with the Valor set is so incredibly strong. So this is just one of the fun starter type of builds you can use. It is a variation of the Legacy of Dreams Captain America Blessed Shield build, and in this set you're really taking advantage of, because it's so early and I assume you don't really have many Paragon levels and you don't really have highly leveled gems and things. It's taking advantage of using the Litany of Undaunted and the Wailing Host to help boost your damage and survivability when you're going through the Greater Rift with all different legendaries that you kind of accumulate. So items you get doesn't have to be perfect, but you're able to get through the first beginning stages as a fresh Crusader at level 70. So this is just some of the skills that I showed there as well, and then I'm just looking at some of my items, and I made some slight changes to some of my items to roll some all res and things before I run in and do this rift. So here I just jump in, I see an elite, the first pack, a blue pack, so I just start shooting away at it. So you do want to have your Prophet available whenever you're fighting an elite. It helps increase the survivability, increases your damage. You're not going to have that up all the time from that Prophet for Akarat's champion, but you do want to try to have it up at least when you're fighting elites. And clearing mobs is somewhat important with this build, especially when you don't have optimal gear. That way, if they happen to strike you from behind, if you leave them alive, they'll decrease the chance of them doing that and killing you earlier on. Run to another blue pack, more bats. So I just pop Akarat's champion or Prophet, pop my other skills, and just throw those shields around like Captain America. Now, I will have another video where I will go more in depth with what skills and gear you're really looking for as that fresh level 70. But here's just some gameplay to show you what it does kind of look like. So you are kiting a little bit as this build, just because right now the survivability is not too strong and your gear might not be completely optimal. So when running this build and going through this Greater Rift 75, I actually was only using 2 of those gems, legendary gems. So I only had, I believe, a Bane of the Stricken and then a Bane of the Powerful, and both of them were not even to a level 25 at this point. Now it would be easier if you did have 3 legendary gems to level 25 as well. That'll make your run even easier, but nothing has to be completely perfect optimal, as you are fresh at level 70 at this point, just trying to gear up. And this build is a fun build to play, especially since in the late game, when you're playing Crusader, you're really trying to push really hard rifts and higher greater rifts. You won't be using this build. The Valor build is just a lot stronger for late game, but this is just a fun beginning build. So I'm kiting a little bit and just really crushing all these elites. See how much damage we're taking here? We're taking a lot of damage. One rune I did tech in because my survivability was low is that Indestructible, where I put it as one of my passive abilities. So then you saw that procced. So I'm a little bit in the danger zone, but we just have to keep crushing on these units, and we're still ahead of time looking at that timer. We're just looking for some crits. Ooh, and then we just fall there. So we gotta revive and try and find a better spot. And it's okay to struggle. As when you're a fresh level 70, especially if you're not playing hardcore, it's okay sometimes to die. This means you have to work on positioning a little bit sometimes, and I did have bad positioning there. I shouldn't have stayed that close to that elite for such a long time. I could have been kiting him a little bit like I'm doing here around this little, whatever this pole is. But as a fresh level 70, and if you haven't really been gearing up, you don't have optimal gear, dying a few times here and there on soft core, it's not that big of a deal. Here's a huge amount of mobs as well, and I'm still surviving in all these mobs because I do have the nice shielding. Shielding is one of the really nice things when you hit that pylon for this build, so I try to gather up as many mobs as I can. Here I could actually move. Here I go. I move into the Oculus ring. So some tips for gearing your follower early on that can really help is definitely having the unity for the follower and then the unity for yourself as well, whether it's in the cube, which is recommended for this build, or wearing the unity. It helps reduce your damage by 50% when you're using that, as long as your follower has that relic that doesn't allow him to die. Now if you don't have that, you can't find a unity, you can use an alternative ring as a Crusader, the one that allows you to increase your block chance. That one is also a very viable option to use as well. So we're just cruising along now, finding more blue packs. I'm really getting carried by this shield pylon. And what's allowed the shield pylon to last so long, it's really wearing the necklace that increases the time in which you can have that active. So that's a really nice feature for Flavor of Time. We're just kiting around. See, it procced our indestructible a little earlier. Kiting around, able to survive. Generate up some health with that steed. See how much damage we take there? Get healed by our Crusader there. And we get a good conduit. Kiting back. Running forward with conduit. And now we're pretty far ahead of time, so it's looking pretty good so far. Stepping into the aura to get some extra damage out. And I use the steed there to kind of get out of trouble, but still happen to proc my indestructible. I get smashed there. So I had the res. We're still ahead of time. Procced our Akira and our indestructible. So we're in a little bit of trouble here. And we die again. Again, it is perfectly fine if you're a fresh 70, still don't have perfect gear. It's okay to struggle. It's actually honestly part of the fun a little bit when you're able to get your first solo Rift 75 done and unlock a T16. Once you can get to that point, if you like playing in parties and things, especially in public parties, you're able to join those T16 rifts, and it'll help you get a little bit better gear. You'll get carried a little bit, but sometimes there's no shame in getting carried. And we're still able to kill that, and then we just move on. We're getting mobbed here by a bunch of stuff. And that's Templar's abilities saving us twice there. So we're getting close to finishing up this greater rift. And about this build in general, for this Legacy of Dreams Blessed Shield Captain America build, it is very viable to taking on greater rifts over 100 as well, if you do have optimal gear. When you're using the optimal gear, you'll be using the legendary gem, Legacy of Dreams gem, instead of using the 2 rings. Using 2 rings is really strong, as you can see here though, to allow you to be a strong level 70. That's pretty fresh with definitely non-optimal gear, not really many ancients or anything like that. Now we just fight the Guardian, stand in the aura, and we're just gonna phase tank and spam away at him. Hope for crits. And we get killed by some of the fireballs. We're still way ahead of time. We'll probably die again here soon. Oof, yeah, they're doing a lot of damage. Alright, we died again. Resurrect again. And we're gonna finish off this Rift Guardian. No shame in softcore if you're dying to it. Rift 75. And that's it. You get your first Primal. Being able to complete that as well, which is a really big step when you unlock the dropping of Primals. And you always wish that your first Primal is useful, but most of the time it isn't, unfortunately. And we'll see which one we get here. So that's about it. That was able to complete Greater Rift 75 with really non-optimal gear in all of that. So if you like any of that gameplay, please like and subscribe below, and I will create also another video that kind of goes over the gear type that you should be looking for to help maybe play this build as a fresh level 70 for that. So thank you guys. Hope you guys are having fun with your Crusader builds for this season.